born in pre-state Israel. And when my father was elected mayor of Miami Beach, it actually happened, you may not know this, during the Six-Day War. He ran against Franklin Roosevelt's son during the Six-Day War. And my mother, who's a Sabra, a native-born Israeli, as his wife. It was quite a story then, while Israel was surrounded by its enemies on the eve of the war, and actually after the war had already begun, my father got elected mayor. And it didn't hurt him that he had a wife who was born in Israel, because there was very strong support. And when I was growing up in Miami Beach, there was always strong support. It was a very pro-Israel, very Zionist community across the spectrum, whether you were left, right, center.
But why is that? What is that connective tissue?
Well, I think for Jews, I think a lot of it had to do with, you had a lot of Holocaust survivors. I remember when I was growing up who lived on Miami Beach, and I think they understood what the world was like when the Jews did not have a place where they could defend themselves and did not have a refuge. You know, Florida is a place where the St. Louis wasn't allowed to come into the United States, the ship that was sent back to Nazi-controlled Europe. And so America did not open its gates at that time. And I think people remember that, and they understand that to have a country, a Jewish state, means that not only the Jews have a voice, but that we have a refuge, and that we have a shield and a sword, and we can defend ourselves. And I think that is deep, deep in that community. And frankly, everywhere where you see, in my travels, I was, I think, around 47 states when I was Israel's ambassador to the United States. Wherever you see a strong and vibrant Jewish community, you see strong support for Israel. It's really a function of the Jewish identity of the people in that community. In Israel, Jewish identity is very, very strong, and has been strong throughout my life and for many decades before that, which is a little bit of a change, you know, because Miami Beach was a place that originally was founded on anti-Semitism. Things changed over the decades, and then it really became a haven for Jews, and I think a haven for pro-Israel sentiment.
So, and now Israel as a Jewish state is really home to a very diverse population, especially in Jerusalem that's so holy to so many. And how does a Jewish state's government maintain that mosaic?
Well, as you say, we have people and citizens who come from over 100 countries around the world. Israel's around 75% Jewish, and it's about 20% Arab. Most of those Arabs are Muslims, but a good chunk of them are also Christians, Arab Christians. And then about 5% of our population, it comes from about everybody else, all sorts of faiths and creeds. And we've been able to hold this place together despite having all of these threats which surround us for so many years. And I think it's because this place is driven by a remarkable sense of purpose. And I think we understand what it's like when the Jews did not have a state, when the Jews were a powerless people. And I think that sense of purpose, I think you see that during the entire year, but you're especially going to see it in these days where we're going to celebrate, we're going to mark Memorial Day, which is a very solemn day, the most solemn day in Israel's calendar, and it is immediately followed by Israel's Independence Day. And those two things go together because we understand in Israel, which is now only 75 years young, we understand the price of our independence. It's been the sacrifice of our soldiers. The ability to defend ourselves by ourselves has enabled our independence. And I think that feeling is very strong. And even though we have all of these fierce debates within Israel, you know, as a Jewish state, you know, you're going to have a lot of debates about a lot of things.
Kind of like the dinner table.
Exactly. So Israel's a giant dinner table. And it's not just Friday night, it's all year round you have those debates. And if you go to the Knesset, you will see the vociferous debates that you have there. And anybody who thinks you're having a difficult time in American politics with your two parties, you know, try 12. See how that works for you. So we have all these debates, but I think facing these enemies that we have, facing those who still call for the destruction of Israel, we can put all those debates aside and stand together, united against those threats.
Minister of Strategic Affairs. I know some people call you Minister of Everything, Ron Dermer. Great to have you on our program, and I'm so grateful you spent some time with us.
Thank you.